Well, hello guys. It's another Sunday, another podcast with Kim and Odingo here with Relationship Matters, baby.
Welcome.
Well, is that all you have to say? Welcome. We're back at it again, and today our topic of discussion is, baby, you wanna let us know what we're talking about?
You could go. You could go ahead.
Basically, what have you learned from your last relationship or your past relationship? So lessons from the past relationships or lessons from the past. So that's quite interesting because have we grown? Have a past relationship left us more? What's the word I'm looking for? More damaged. In order for us to move forward into a new relationship, has it made us a better person, or can we learn a better person?
Yeah.
Or are there things that we can look back and learn from and say, you know what, I will never be in that situation again. So that's the discussion today. So what do you think, Mr. Jackson's lessons from the past?
Lessons from the past. Well, life experiences can either be a burden to walk around with, or they can be a university.
Wow.
They can
life lesson,
life
or
experiences,
life
experiences. So your past can do two things. It can make you better, or it can make you bitter.
Bitter, yes.
Right. So more specifically, we will be addressing and becoming intimately in touch with relationships. So if you've been in a relationship and you've come out of that relationship, or that relationship have ended for one reason or another, we are looking at, has that injured you, has that impacted you, where you would have you've come through as someone who would reflect on that past relationship, where you would have learned significantly, or you've come through and you are reflecting on that as what happened to me during that year, that 2 years, that 9 months, that 6 months, that 5 years, that 10 years. So you are going to come through that experience injured, greatly impacted in a negative way, or you would reflect on it as, you know what, that was a really important learning experience for me. While it might not have been the most pleasant experience, I really have learned a lot. I have grown. And I know I have become a better person through that experience.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I think just to add to what you're saying, it takes a while sometimes to realize the lessons that you have learned. Because sometimes you only realize, like, deep into maybe your next relationship, because I don't think we actually understand the lessons that we have learned from the past until we are challenged in the next relationship. Like, it's only when you're in the next relationship, I believe, you go, oh my goodness, you know what? That was actually a blessing, like that last relationship. Because when I was in that last relationship, especially if you were in a relationship where, oh my God, you were over the moon, you were in love, you couldn't see anything else, and this person really, really, you believe they really done you the worst. You understand? Especially if it was not your fault, and they just left you and you were just in tears. You were basically broken beyond, But then as you move along and you realize, I'm now in a better relationship. I'm now in a healthier relationship. I'm now with somebody who loves me truly for who I am. Then you realize most probably I was being taken advantage of in that last relationship. I think it takes a while for you to see the lessons that... You see where I'm coming from? The lessons that you've learned.
Yeah.
Because you don't originally accept it at first.
It depends on the kind of person that you are. Because some people are naturally reflective.
Yeah.
So if they're in a relationship and things are not going the way how they prefer for it to go, they would reflect. And then they would say, okay, I think I'm probably crowding my other half. So let me give them some space. Or they would say, I think I need to make more of an effort to spend more time. I need to be more creative. I need to be more spontaneous. While some people, when they get into a relationship, the relationship is in competition to the relationship that their brother or sister or cousin or somebody else or some celebrity on TV has.
Or some best friend.
Right. So they're looking at their relationship in comparison to the relationship that they see some celebrity has. Right. So that being said, it's important to understand and to see and to know what relationship you have.
Yeah.
Because you might be in a relationship and the reason why your relationship, as far as you are aware, is not working is because the relationship that you are in, compared to what you see is happening on TV, your relationship is not measuring up.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
You are not, like, for literal example, you are not keeping up with the Kardashians.
You can't keep up with them anyway. They're not real.
Right. You see? So it's a scenario where you see your brother and your brother's girlfriend having a certain kind of relationship. But your brother is his own individual, and your brother's girlfriend, either she's her own individual. Your girlfriend or wife is not the very same like your brother's girlfriend or wife. And your sister's boyfriend is not the same like your boyfriend. So, there will be differences within relationships. But at the end of a relationship, we are looking at when we've come through the relationship, it comes to an end. Have this relationship made me a better person, or has it taken away from who I am? Am I now a better person? And every person that tries to approach me, I believe they are after something.
They're after something.
Yeah, they're out to get me.
Yeah.
Or as you were making reference to. You get into a relationship and then you can say, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I can really see that previous relationship I was in was not that bad. Or it was the devil.
Yeah.
Thank God I got out of it.
That's a strong one.
It is, yeah.
Some relationships do feel like that, like you are definitely married to a Jezebel spirit or the devil for real. Because it's like they have so much power and authority over you. You can't, it's like you become obsessed, or you become, you can't even shift. You know what I mean? So it's like you realize, that was a serious dark spirit over me. But I think on a serious note, lessons learned from the past. I think at the end of the day, not coming into the other relationship with drama, or not bringing. Not expecting, not saying like all men are the same or all women are the same or all men are dogs, or trying to compare, because the last relationship you had was so bad that you're not even going to give the new relationship, the new person, a chance. You understand? Because you already start judging them based on the person that you were with. And I think it's trying to give everybody an opportunity, because you will never know until you try. You can't just compare everyone and say, oh yeah, all men are dogs or all women are this or whatever it is, because you had a bad relationship. But I think we can learn lessons from our past relationships and try to make sure that we will not be treated the same, because I think that's very important, because that's the end result here is to be treated fairly. The end result here is to be treated with respect and to be treated with love. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So for me, it's more or less like if I was with somebody who never did anything for me in terms of motivating me, trying to take me to the next level, trying to make me improve myself, trying to, they took time out to treat me, to dine me, to make sure that I was loved right. And then now you find Mr. Right. There are some people, they find Mr. Right who's doing everything the other person never did. And then they tell themselves, this is too good to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he want?
And then they try to escape from that.
And they try to sabotage that relationship indirectly, because they're trying to figure out, wait, I've never been treated like that. What does this man want from me? My love, you are being loved correctly.
Yeah.
But because you are being loved correctly, you can't see it because you were damaged from the past. Instead of actually seeing that past relationship, this is not how we do it. But this one here, this is how we do it. This is what not to do. But this is what I am, like learning things that, oh my God, this can truly be different. What do you think about that? Because
no, I agree completely. I mean, I can't help but thinking about a photography kind of scenario. If you are going to take, when I just got into photography, I was wondering, why does photographers have different lens for a camera? And it is like the human experience.
Yeah.
Like our experience. You have, if you're going to take a picture of something very tiny, you need what is called a macro lens.
Yeah.
So that you are able to focus on the very tiny thing and see great details, and it is you see it normally.
Yeah.
But if you have just a normal, what you call a standard lens,
Yeah.
to get to see something that's very, very, very tiny, you won't get to see the details of that. So
yeah.
the photo taken, you will see it as a tiny object, but you won't get to see the details of the object.
Oh wow!
Right, but if you're going to take a photograph of something that's a fair distance away, like in sports photography, you can't get right up close to the athlete. You can't get too close to things that are far away. You have to put on what you call a long range lens, a very big lens on the camera.
Yeah.
So you can make things that are very far away seems very close. So you see the difference is something that's very, very tiny. You need a lens that could amplify, magnify. So you magnify so you can see the details to appreciate the beauty of that very tiny item. And for something far away, you need a big lens, a long range lens that can pull that thing closer.
Okay.
You see? So what I'm saying is, you in a relationship, I'm with you. And the way I would see you as my significant other, somebody else will not see you that way. They would see you completely different.
Okay.
Their lens will be tuned and changed to see you. Literal example is, I can't look at another man's wife and see what he sees in her, what he appreciates in her, and to know why he love her, how he love her, and it would not make sense to me. Because she's not my wife.
Yeah.
I did not have that connection with her.
Yeah.
So we're talking about being in a relationship or out of a relationship. What do you see? What lessons you are left with? You get into a relationship. When you're in that relationship, someone comes into that relationship and they treat you however they see you. Do you understand?
They treat you however they see you. Okay.
So if
they see you as weak, they will treat you as such.
Yes.
Okay.
If they see you as being, well, you're not really too important or too valuable to them. If something is not of great value, they will not treat it with value.
My God, that is so important.
But that is so.
Yeah.
And then, so they will treat you however. They don't really care.
If you look vulnerable, they will treat you as such. You
most
will be
likely
taken advantage of.
But it depends on the person, because individually, you would you would consider how you are going to treat someone. So I'll be fair to everyone because that is my principles. But I get into a relationship with you, and I don't treat you or regard you with any kind of value. I'm in and I'm out. The relationship ends, and you are trying to figure out, where did you go wrong? What did you do wrong? It wasn't you. It was the other person. But now you get someone else come along, and they're treating you like royalty. They are treating you like every word you say is gold.
Wow.
And you stand for everything that they should have actually had in their life from the foundation. But you realize that you were treated very badly before. And as you are saying, you just said a minute ago.
Yeah.
Right. You're thinking, no, I can't, this guy is going to treat me very badly.
Yeah, this is too good to be true.
This is too good to be true. I have an example. I remember I was speaking to someone not too long ago, and they were speaking to me about a relationship that they were in. And they said they met this guy. He was the most amazing guy that they've ever been with. But they could not have stayed with him because he was too nice.
He was too nice. Oh my days.
So
maybe I've heard that before, I've heard women saying crazy things
guys
like that.
Too nice.
He's too good,
Yeah, he's
they
very
actually
nice.
want the gangster who knocks them around. They want the ghetto guy who knocks them around because I don't know. I don't understand that.
No, but it's not they want the ghetto guy who knocks them around. I'll tell you what happened. In us speaking, we dug a bit deeper. And what she said is that she was in relationships before, but the previous 2 relationships were for some time, and the guys were physically abusive. They used to beat her. Okay. Then they'd apologize. Then sometime on they'll beat her again.
Oh God.
To the point where she was hospitalized.
Wow.
Right. So and then after that relationship ended, she got into a relationship with a second guy, and this guy he was really, really, really nice. And after about a year or so, close to a year, he put his hands on her. But this guy had so much control over her. But after that was done, And those relationships ended. She ended up with this guy who treated her like she was everything that he hoped for and dreamed for. And he was always really nice. And he did things for her and to her that only lived in her imagination. It was too much for her. And she ended that relationship because she could not have believed that she was deserving
Wow.
of such.
Now
So
that
you
is,
see what
that is
happened?
deep. Yeah.
So sometimes our previous relationship or relationships could damage us to the point where when good thing comes along, when good stuff comes along, when what we've been searching for and wishing for and praying for,
My God.
when it comes along,
Yeah.
we don't
can't-
want it because we don't know. At that point, we are so damaged.
So damaged. My goodness. That you can't even see that you have a good
No,
thing.
you see, but at that point, you have devalued yourself to the point
So is it
where
seeing or you're
rejecting.
afraid? You're afraid. It's like I fear this is gonna. You're already thinking the worst.
Well, I don't know exactly. I don't know if that is what it is, but I know what she said was when he came along, she only could have tolerated so much of him being nice to her.
My goodness.
At a certain point,
Yeah.
she had to call an end to the relationship because it wasn't that she didn't want it to go sour, but it was just too much for her. Being treated being treated so well, being loved like how he loved her, being dealt with in that way now, it's like the previous relationship eroded her value to the point where she was not able to receive. She was an unresponsive recipient to whatever and all thing that was good.
Wow, that is really.
And that was really sad. It was really
that
sad
really-
and
yeah.
heartbreaking. Very, very, very extremely
My
sad.
goodness.
So going back to what we originally were saying, it's you have to be so careful with the relationships that you are in, or you have to be careful with the relationships that you've gotten out of, because sometimes they can erode you to the point where the relationship that you are into or you are going to get into might impact you, might damage you. It might break you down so that when good things comes in the future, you don't know how to appreciate it.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
This is the woman I never want to be.
Yeah. And men,
I'm just
and
being
men,
straight.
and men,
This
some
is
men.
the woman that I never want to be.
And some
I'm
men have
happy.
experience.
I've been gifted with those. Listen, if you don't treat me right, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
Some
You know
people-
what I
some
mean? I
people
don't
can do
have
that.
time.
Some people don't do that.
Yeah, but I think it's about, like previous
Loving
podcasts,
yourself.
we've always talked about loving yourself
Yep,
first.
yep.
The gift, the for me, it starts with loving yourself. And it's so important because if you do not love yourself, if you do not know how to love yourself, you will never be ready to receive love. And when you when you receive it, you do not know what to make out of it. Like you know what I mean? Like what you were just describing.
Yeah.
Somebody's treating you like a queen and you're thinking, wait a minute. I'm not deserving of that. You understand? I want women to be in the position and men to be in the position to realize, hell yeah, I deserve that. I am a queen. I am a king. Listen, I deserve to be treated as royalty. I deserve to be treated special because you are special. But I'm afraid there are a lot of women in this woman's position right now. There are so many women who are in situations, they are so broken from past relationships, you understand, which have left them extremely bitter that when they do find Mr. Right that they're supposed to be looking for, because everybody's so looking for the so-called Mr. Right, that when you do find it, you run away from it because it's too good.
Yeah, but can I tell you, can I also add?
Yeah.
I'll also add what she said, which was really, I found was really confusing, but I understood it after.
Yeah.
She would literally try to create situations.
Whoa.
She would go for it. She would literally try to create a scenario where she want to see him kick off. She want to see him, to see if he would actually put his hands on her. She would create, and when he never acted the way she wanted him to act, she just found that he was strange. So
that is crazy.
she'd been that way. That way, the past had impacted her so much so that she's now pushing you to become her ex. She's
Wow.
pushing you. So you see, as you're saying, it's like we have to be careful. And we have to, as you say, you say always, and we always say is, you have to love yourself.
You have
and
to
you
love
have to know
yourself
what
first.
your value is.
Extremely
This is what I
true.
expect for
Yeah.
myself.
Oh, yeah.
I expect if you want to try to slap me, if you want to try to be abusive towards me verbally, if you want to try to come at me a certain way, if you want to go and tell my family members and my close friends, I am not, I am dirt, that I would say no.
Yes. Yeah.
I expect certain things, and likewise, I need to know when I am with you, what do you expect? And also, I need to know that I can meet your expectations
Yes.
and surpass them.
Oh, yes.
I need to know that you can meet my expectations and surpass them.
Oh, yes.
I need to know that I am doing that because it is me being fair to you. I will challenge you to meet my expectations and surpass them. And I want for you to understand that I want, out of love, for you to challenge me to meet your expectation and surpass them.
Yeah.
Because that way I know I am growing. That way I know you are growing. And that way I know our relationship are growing wings and it can fly.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing and powerful.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, baby, that is some hardcore stuff. And I think the lesson here is, for me, is love yourself first.
Love yourself first.
Love
Definitely.
yourself first.
Yeah.
Don't settle for less. Why would you settle for less? And for me, my advice to women out there, stop that thing whereby, you are looking for the love of your life. You are looking for Mr. Right. But because of a broken relationship, because of a relationship which have left you severely bitter before, you cannot actually acknowledge and receive what is being given. It's like right now you've been given a gift. You've been asking for the Mr. Right to come along, and God has actually sent you the Mr. Right. But because you've been broken so badly, you can't even see it. You can't even acknowledge it, and you cannot even accept it. So you end up trying to self-sabotage your relationship by having unnecessary arguments.
Yeah.
Unnecessary fights, because you are busy trying to push someone to the limits to see, can I break them? Stop that nonsense. At the end of the day, let's learn to just love ourselves, treat each other with respect. And listen, when you have received the Mr. Right or the Miss Right, learn to receive it with love.
Listen, amen to that.
Yeah.
But I want to also add amen to that. I can't say nothing else on that.
Yeah.
But I would like to say something else,
Yeah.
something a little bit different. Someone said, some people are looking for Mr. Right,
Yeah.
while others are looking for Mr. Right now. Some are looking for Mr.
Someone
Right.
looking for Mr. Right, but
I-
someone looking for Mr. Right now.
Right. So they just need someone to be there at that moment.
Oh
but
my
but what I
God.
would say, what I would say, and the advice I would give
Yeah.
is, don't look for Mr. Right. No, don't look for Mrs. Right.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
You be Mr. Right.
Wow.
You be Mrs. Right. If you are Mr. Right, Mrs. Right will find you.
You know what? I
And
can't
you
say
be
nothing to
Mrs.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
If you are Mrs. Right, Mr. Right would find you.
That is
So
amazing.
you be
what you want.
what you be
Yeah.
right first.
You be right first.
And the Mr. or the Mrs. will find you.
Baby, you've nailed that one there. I can't add or put
Guarantee.
nothing to that. That is amazing. Be what you want to be. Be what you want to receive. You understand? That is amazing. I hope you guys have taken something really powerful from this. Lessons to be learned from the past. They can either make you or break you. They could leave you better or bitter. Choose which one you want. But most importantly, learn to love yourself. Have an amazing Sunday, and we'll meet again here next week. Thank you.
God bless.